And now, how can you rate the performance so far?
Thank you very much. Our political system, that's why for some of us who enjoy the multi-party democracy, give a lot of, respect and credence to the support that Gani Fayemi gave, during the early years of our democratic dispensation, this current experience, that went to court to be able to justify that multi-party democracy is for them to create an inclusive system where everybody will have a place where his interests are are protected. And that is the key thing in every democratic experience. If you conscript the process, you will limit the numbers of people that get into the democratic engagement. So for 2019, the new parties that were added and both parties did very well. But it's just that we practice a process of winner takes it all. So it makes it difficult for you to have that engagement process. Look at the NRM, the Nigerian Rescue Movement. They won House of Assembly in Zamfara State. Look at NNPP. They won over the House of Reps and two House of Assembly in Bauchi State. Look at PRP that was even deregistered by Professor Atairu Jega. It was deregistered, and for it to be relisted, they had to even go to court to get a order 4948 to be able to force Jega to relist them. They won House of Reps in Bauchi and House of Assembly. So you can imagine the process. Political party registration is not an end in itself. It's a journey that every party must follow it and create a process where they will now meet up with their organic level of growth. If you look at the judgment of PRP, the registration, one of the things the judgment said was that parties were not just created to win elections. Party as a vehicle for mobilization, vehicle for voters education, vehicle for awareness. These are the key things why parties were created. But our parties say, yes, we're supposed to win more elections. But there are other things that are militating against the growth of multi-party democracy now in Nigeria, especially. One, the defection. Law for that people cross carpet from one party to another at their own free will and without any restriction. How do you build a party? Some parties have become like, what they call it, feeder. Like the PPA, you want to governor, they move to another party. By 2011, you won House of Assembly, they move to another party. By 2016, you won in Ebonyi, they move to another party. How do you sustain that problem? How do you grow a political party through that process that is not organic in nature? So for 2015 election, I can give you list and list of how parties fail. Look at YPP. They have a senator. They are a new party. Then you have to give chance, you have to give time for parties to grow. And moreover, party does not act as burden to our economy. They don't have that burden to the purse of the federation. They don't have that burden to the federation account. Because every party that is registered operates within the resources of his members, which is truly not fair. Because if you look how successful the NRC and SDP situation was, you will know how much the federal government put into the experiment. Every local government has office for NRC and SDP. They are still there till today. Money was put into the process because how do you create balance from parties that are not in governance and parties that are in governance? How do you create that balance? You must be able to fund the party system. It is very important. It is not for me. I'm not going to be a party chairman forever. I've been here for some time. In fact, I want to do something else. But for the generation to come, they must have where to be able to go and experience political participation. Because political participation is the key for inclusivity. Without political participation, there's no inclusivity. Without expanding the opportunity for people to participate and freely choose where to participate and freely state where they should participate, then you have a problem. Then you have a problem of democratic conscription in our hand and restriction. So for 2019 election, that has gone. But we should start preparing for 2023 to make sure that our elections are credible, more credible than 2015-2019, more acceptable than 2015-2019, that our elections are inclusive in nature, that our electoral process are transparent, that our electoral process accept the wishes and aspirations of the Nigerian people. And that's why for us at the Inter-Party Advisory Council level, we think that there should be a call, not for constitutional review, but for electoral reform conference, where all political parties, all stakeholders, and all those even media organizations who have gained experience in covering election over the years can sit down in one room and be able to put a proper reform to our electoral process. There are a lot of progress, but it's like this progress need to be sustained going into 2023 election to make sure that every young Nigerian can say, look, I want to lead my people. And because of the right of the constitution to allow me to participate in any party and creating multiplicity of party, creating opportunity with multi-democratic party experiment, I want to be in this party. Let my vote count. And we must also be able to educate our citizens. The failure of governance, the failure of democratic participation, the failure of transparent process in election is not the fault of the AMB alone. Neither is it the fault of the political class alone. Neither is it the fault of the registered political party too. It's also the fault of the citizen. Because the office of the citizen is supposed to be the greatest office in a democratic dispensation. But what we have is this spirit of, consign me syndrome that our citizen has. They do not want to participate in the process. They do not want to contribute to the system. They do not want to be able to say, this is the candidate that we have, and we are going to finance such candidate. When the citizens themselves accept that everybody who is already in governance must be able to fund them for coming to vote. When people self-vote, they put very dark cloud on our electoral system. That is the citizen side. It's not of the politician or the AMB. So the citizen must wake up that when you sell one of your votes, either for 5,000 or 3,000, there are very, very important things that you have sold out. One, you have sold out power supply, you have sold out good road, you have sold out amenities, you have sold out community development, you have sold out quality drainages in our communities and our local councils. So this is the problem. The problem is that the citizens too are docile in nature. They do not want to be seen as taking governance and seeing that legitimate voting rights given to them by the Constitution is exercised without infringement. It's exercised without them voluntarily using their selfish interest to sell their vote to their highest bidder. So these are key ingredients that we must look at. It's a collective of issues. You can never solely blame INEC. You cannot solely blame political party. You cannot solely blame government. And you cannot also solely blame the citizen. All of us as citizens also knows that you cannot take, if you are taking sample, you must take sample from within the community that exists. For those who did research methodology. So it's key that we must sit down as a community, as a country, from all sectors to be able to discuss and create an electoral reform conference. That we will put the Justice Waste panel report together, the former Senate President Onamani, the report, the other Lemu report on electoral matters. We must put them on the table, all of them, and come out with a final blueprint paper that will be able to stand the test of time as the conduct of election concerned. Because why there are so many pressure? There are no local government elections. We have no local government election in Nigeria. So this reform is very key, that we must be able to see how to be able to take the local government election from the hands of those who have totally abused the opportunity created by the Obasanjo government. Because by 1998, when we're coming to this current republic, local government election was conducted by INEC. It was conducted by INEC, and you could see the record. If you go to INEC and get the record, you could see that party won across board. But today, if you are in party A, and party A is governor of state B, party A wins everything. There is nobody, whether you are a Senate president and you are in party C, you cannot win. Whether you are a governor, a former governor, and you live in your ward, you cannot win a councillor. The state government that belongs to party A writes all the results and then tender it. And then you want to go to court. They create the tribunal. They have the House of Assembly to even make laws within 24 hours to conduct local government election and disqualify those eligible candidates. So we have a lot of work to do. We cannot solely blame any organization. The media have done so much in the process of trying to make sure that our elections are credible. If you look at those who have had more casualty, when the people they talk about death, they talk about snatching, it's the media that have suffered more. That people have died. I can't count how many politicians, senior politicians who died in an election, but we can give you statistics of journalists who have died in process of trying to make sure that the election represents the true wishes of the Nigerian people. So,
well, as a chairman, I want to ask you, are you accountable to all the political parties, 91 political parties Can you say you know the chairman, you know the offices, you know where they are you accountable?
If there's one thing that gives me leverage, is that I can mention 91 political party headquarters and the name of the chairman offhand. Because you can't lead an organization without being fair, without being balanced. And that is why even the care in making sure the names of parties were not mentioned in our discussion. Because we must be advisory in nature as we are, and make sure that that advice is done without basis of bias, without the fact to malign any political party or its interest. So we are very accountable to political parties. That is what it is. And the parties too have shown faith. Even parties you think they have been able to give finance to this council for its growth. Those who have more strength to finance this council have done that. Those who do not have contributed material and intelligent resources to make sure that this council gets to the level it is today. So we are putting the council, despite we are political in nature, we are trying to avoid the partisan nature that comes with it. We do the partisan business in our different political parties. But when it comes to the function of the council, which maintains that we must try to create an enabling environment for election to be free, fair, credible, and not violent, that is the cardinal function of the Inter-Party Advisory Council. If you look at our code, it's one of the major reasons why it was set up. And that's why you see that in every election cycle, like we're going to be doing a sensitization workshop in Kogi and Bayelsa. If you like, we can take you along on our tour. This is what we do. We've been doing it for years in trying to sensitize people to make citizens know their right. Because if they know their right, all these shenanigans that happen with election rigging will die. It's the fact that our people do not even see that their own governance. They see that they are beholden to governance. No, it's the other way around. The government is supposed to be beholden to the people. So when the people come up to know what their rights are and try to freely exercise their right in a democratic manner without bringing violence into it, casting their vote in a manner that will encourage development, in a manner that will bring competence, merit, and capacity on board. This is all we need to make sure that our citizens by 2023, that majority of those who are lawful voters, who have not registered, go out to vote. Those who have voted, come out to cast their vote. Because ultimately, my brother, those who decide, those who lead us, are those who refuse to vote.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.